The galactic auditorium buzzed with the usual hum of energy, translators flickering as hundreds of alien species gathered. Every week, the Council of Sapient Races met in the Hall of Exchange to share cultural wonders, histories, and sometimes, to boast. The Trivac delegation had brought recordings of their desert hunts, where armored beetle wolves stalked prey across scorching sands. The Hurric showed their orbital games, starships dueling in choreographed displays of brilliance. Even the Veil, silent mantis-like philosophers, projected shimmering dreamscapes from their hive consciousness. It was humanity's turn. The Alien Council leaned forward, eager and skeptical. Humanity was young, barely 2 centuries into interstellar travel, yet already infamous for being unpredictable, bold, and somewhat reckless. At the podium, Captain Elena Strauss smiled faintly. We were asked to share a part of our heritage, something that speaks to who we are. She tapped the console. The lights dimmed. A hollow screen flared to life, projecting scenes from an ancient film. The audience saw a dense jungle, steaming and alien to their eyes. A squad of humans armed with crude projectile weapons moved cautiously, scanning the trees. Something unseen stalked them. Heat vision flashed across the screen, alien eyes watching. Then came the reveal. A towering, dreadlocked hunter, mandibles clicking, cloaked in refracted light. The alien delegates hissed and shifted. The predator decloaked, lifting a struggling human by the throat, roaring in primal challenge. The footage rolled on, violence and tension woven into the narrative. The hunter toyed with its prey, killing with ritual, seeking only worthy opponents. The humans fought back, bloodied but unbroken, until one, scarred, mud-smeared, turned the tables. The final scene froze on the predator's face, locked in mutual recognition with its human rival before detonating in a blaze of honor. Silence swept the hall. Finally, the Chancellor of the Council, a six-eyed Drellith, rose, voice quivering. This was not a documentary. Elena folded her arms. No, it's fiction. Film created centuries ago. We call it Predator. A ripple of unease crossed the chamber. Fiction or not, the alien hunters in the footage felt real. Their brutality, their code of honor, their relentless pursuit. It resonated. The Veil delegate clicked his mandibles softly. You imagined such a creature? Yes, Elena replied. For us, stories test courage, fear, and survival. This one asks, what if something hunted us, something superior? Would we endure? Would we fight? Could we win? Trivac scoffed. Your kind invented monsters that even you could not defeat. That was when Lieutenant Marcus Hale, seated behind Elena, leaned forward with a grin. His voice carried across the chamber. Want me to bring one? The entire hall froze. The challenge. Whispers erupted in 100 tongues. Some laughed nervously, assuming it was bravado. Others leaned back, unsettled. The Drellith Chancellor tilted his massive head. Explain yourself, human. Marcus shrugged. We imagined it. That doesn't mean it can't exist. Our biospheres are full of predators stranger than this. Give me a research team, a jungle world, and a year. I'll bring you something that makes this predator look tame. The council erupted in outrage and disbelief. The Veil philosopher clicked sharply. You would conjure death for sport. Marcus's grin faded into steel. Not for sport. For truth. You look at us and wonder why humanity rises so fast, why we push into every frontier. It's because we've lived with predators at our heels since the beginning. Wolves, lions, crocodiles, sharks. We don't imagine monsters because we worship fear. We imagine them because we beat them. The words lingered. Some found them arrogant, others disturbingly compelling. The Chancellor's eyes narrowed. And if you fail, Marcus leaned forward, then humanity learned something new. Either way, the galaxy learns what humans are made of. After heated debate, the Council granted him permission, with restrictions. He was to lead no army, no vast expedition. Only a single ship, limited crew, and Council observers. If he sought to create a predator worthy of their fear, he would do so under watchful eyes. Thus began the wager, the hunt. They chose the planet Veora 9, a humid world of steaming jungles and endless storms. Already home to dangerous megafauna, it was the perfect crucible. Marcus arrived with a small team of scientists, engineers, and one Council observer, a tall, glass-skinned Zirathai named Althiz, who regarded humans with constant suspicion. The mission was simple. Study the ecosystem, identify the apex predators, and push the boundaries of human ingenuity to test survival. For weeks, they tracked monstrous serpents with jaws wide enough to swallow tanks. They observed camouflaged chameleonoids that dissolved into foliage until they struck with bone-splitting claws. Marcus fought alongside his team, scarred but always grinning, as though each brush with death was proof of humanity's right to be there. But he wasn't satisfied. "These are dangerous," Althiz admitted one night, his translucent skin reflecting the firelight. "But they lack intention. They are beasts, not hunters with will." Marcus smiled. "Exactly. We're not just looking for teeth and claws. We're looking for something that can think." That was when they encountered the Shrikes. Bipedal reptilians, lean and muscular, with skin patterned like shifting leaves. They hunted in packs, using coordinated tactics, flanking prey, herding it into traps. Their eyes glowed faintly in the dark, and they wielded bone spears tipped with venom. One evening, Marcus watched as a Shrike pack ambushed a 6-ton jungle behemoth, harrying it until it collapsed, poisoned and bleeding. Then, as if in ritual, the largest Shrike cut its chest and smeared blood across his own brow. Marcus whispered, "Now that's a predator." The reckoning. The Council observers recorded everything. Some were horrified, others fascinated. When word spread back to the Hall of Exchange, a frenzy erupted. Delegates accused humans of reckless provocation, of awakening terrors better left unknown. But others demanded the experiment continue. They wanted to see whether humanity's bold words could be matched with proof. So Marcus went further. For weeks, he shadowed the Shrikes, studying their habits. He noticed they did not kill indiscriminately. They tested prey, seeking the strongest. The weak they ignored was familiar. One night, Marcus approached Althiz. "They remind you of the predator, don't they?" The Zirathai tilted his crystalline head. "Yes, too much. And it terrifies me." Marcus's grin flashed. "Good. That means it's working." Soon after, the Shrikes noticed the humans. At first they shadowed them, watching from treetops, whispering in guttural clicks. Then they began to test them, springing traps, driving beasts toward their camp, probing their defenses. It was inevitable. The Shrikes considered them prey, until Marcus challenged them. A duel. The Shrike leader was massive, scarred across one eye, his body painted with ritual blood. Marcus strode into their hunting ground alone, stripped of armor, carrying only a crude spear fashioned from jungle wood and steel. Althiz and the others watched from a ridge, horrified. "He means to fight it one-on-one." The Shrike leader stepped forward, mandibles clicking in a rasping growl. The pack circled but did not interfere. They understood challenge. The duel was brutal. The shrike moved with blinding speed, spear thrusting, claws flashing. Marcus dodged, parried, struck back. The jungle echoed with their clash. Man and alien predator locked in primal combat. Marcus was cut, blood streaming down his arm, but his grin never faded. He fought dirty, throwing sand, feinting, using every trick. At last, he drove his spear through the shrike's chest, even as the predator's claws tore across his ribs. The shrike leader staggered, looked Marcus in the eyes, and bowed before collapsing. Pack howled. Then, one by one, they lowered their spears in respect. The return. When the humans returned to the Hall of Exchange, they did not come empty-handed. With them marched 3 shrikes, alive, armed, proud. They were not prisoners. They were guests. Gasps filled the chamber. The council erupted in shock. Marcus stepped forward, still bearing the scars of his duel. You wanted to know if we could bring one. We did. Not a beast, not a monster. A predator who thinks, who hunts with honor. And they recognize us as equals. The shrike leader, scarred but alive, revived by human medicine, stepped beside him and uttered guttural words. The translators crackled. Prey no longer. Hunters together. The hall was silent, shaken to its core. For the first time, the galaxy understood. Humanity's fictions were not mere stories. They were challenges. And when humans asked, "Want me to bring one?" they meant it. Ending. The wager changed everything. The shrikes were granted observer status within the council, their alliance with humanity forging a new order. No longer were humans dismissed as reckless dreamers. They were recognized as something far more dangerous. Storytellers who could turn imagination into reality. Years later, when children of 100 species whispered about monsters in the dark, they did not speak only of beasts. They spoke of predators that hunt with honor, and of the humans who would dare to fight them. And somewhere in the jungles of Veora 9, shrike hunters painted their skin with blood and told stories of the day they met the only prey who ever became their equal. The humans,